Hello everyone and welcome back to a very beautiful and a must-see chess game from 1872 this time from St. Petersburg. And in this chess game we have one of the forgotten great chess player from the past, Emmanuel Schiffers. And his opponent is not a well-known chess player, an unknown chess player basically, named Nolde. So of course, if you don't know much about Emmanuel Schiffers, I'm going to give you a few basic informations about him. Well, he was one of the top leading chess players of Russia. And for 10 years, he was the chess champion of Russia until Mikhail Chigorin. He lost to Chigorin in a match. And according to Wikipedia, they actually played many matches, actually for about 4 matches. And Schiffers has managed to defeat Mikhail Chigorin in one of those matches. And he also played a match with Wilhelm Steinitz, and he lost that match 6.5, 4.5. So that's a respectable score against Wilhelm Steinitz. He basically has defeated Steinitz 4 times in that match. So okay, he was a very important chess player from Russia and one of the leading chess players at the time. He basically finished the very important, extremely strong Hastings chess tournament in 1895 at the respectable 6th place. So, as you know, Harry Nelson Pillsbury won that tournament. And Schiffers was also known as Russia's chess teacher. He was the chess teacher of Russia. So he gave some important public lectures about chess theory in his country. So, okay, unfortunately, there is also a tragic story about Emmanuel Schiffers. Unfortunately, later it was reported that he became insane, he lost his mind, and he was taken to an asylum. In 1899, he was confined in an asylum. And unfortunately, 5 years later, he died. So, it's a very tragic story, and that's unfortunately a common problem of some of the important chess masters in the history. Mental problems, becoming insane. These are some of the common problems of some of the important chess masters of the past. Harry Nelson Pillsbury, Wilhelm Steinitz, Paul Morphy, Akiba Rubinstein, some of the important Soviet chess players, Bobby Fischer, they all had mental problems. Interesting, isn't it? Anyway, so let's check out what happened in this chess game. Emmanuel Schiffers, who has the white pieces, starts the game with e4. We have e5, knight to f3, and basically this is a very instructive romantic chess game. So we have the classic opening, one of the most popular openings of the romantic school of chess, b4, the Evans Gambit. Bishop takes on b4 and then c3. Bishop to c5, and then white castled. d6, so opening the bishop, and then white pushes the pawn with a tempo, exchanging the pawns, and then defending the bishop, and knight to c3. Knight to a5, attacking the bishop. And in this position, Emmanuel Schiffers decided to play bishop to g5, and this is known as the Goering attack of the Evans Gambit. But in this position, Nolde pushed the pawn, and it looks like both of the bishops of Emmanuel Schiffers is under attack. So, which bishop to save? Of course, the bishop on the king side, bishop to h4. And we have developing the knight. So, you can see that it is very simple, of course. If capturing the bishop, then queen to a4 check, and then getting back the piece, forking the king and the knight. So, we have developing the knight, and Schiffers played. On the surface, it looks logical, but actually it was not a good move. It was a very risky move. He played e5 in this position, so black haven't castled. And usually if your opponent's king haven't castled, pushing the e-pawn or the d-pawn is usually a logical idea. But not in this case, actually, because black has a pretty strong move in this position. Can you see that move? Well, actually, black, thanks to Emmanuel Schiffers, fortunately for Emmanuel Schiffers, he didn't see the best move and he played g5, and this was a very bad move. So in this position, which move was a very strong move? Obviously, it is not f takes on e5 because the pawn is pinned, then bishop takes queen. Well, the best move in this position was basically d takes on e5, and actually black is doing okay because you can't capture the pawn back. If capturing the pawn, then exchanging the queens, queen takes on d1, let's say rook takes on d1, and then knight takes bishop, and white can resign. So in this position, after knight to h6, we have e5 and not d takes on e5, which was a very simple move, and actually it was a pretty strong move, a logical move, but instead Nolde played g5, and this was a very bad move, I repeat. But can you see why this move was a very bad move? What would you do in this position if you had the white pieces? Well, there is a very strong move, and Emmanuel Schiffers played the top engine move in this position. He played knight takes on g5. I hope you have seen this move, sacrificing the knight, and it is a very logical move because this is also opening the queen, opening the diagonal, and planning to attack the king. So we have bishop to g4, not capturing the knight, and let's check out what happens if capturing the knight. So if f takes on g5, then we have check, and if king to f8, then capturing the knight. Check, king to e8, check, king to d7, and then check, checkmate. Basically black is getting checkmated by force, and there is no escape. So after g5, knight takes on g5, and we have bishop to g4, but in this position, Emmanuel Schiffers played an unbelievable move. He played e takes on f6, not moving the queen. So bishop takes on d1, but Schiffers played rook to e1, checking the king, and we have king to d7. Well, you might also consider what happens if king to f8, then we have knight to e6, forking the king and the queen. So king to f7, capturing the queen with check, and white is winning, actually. Discovered check, double check. And after knight to e6, what happens if king to e8, then capturing the queen with check, and if king takes queen, you can see that pushing the pawn and checking the king with the bishop, and black is in big trouble. So we have king to f7 in the possible continuation, knight takes on d8, and this should be winning for white. But in the real chess game, after rook to e1, we have king to d7 and lowering the king down, bishop to e6. So flashing the king out, king to c6, d5, king to c5, checking the king again, and only then capturing the bishop, bishop to d4. Well, in this position, white would like to place his bishop to g4 and then attacking the king with the bishop, and this position is looking not very safe for the black king. As you can see, it's a very difficult position, but white can't do that because of the knight. So maybe attacking the knight is also possible, and then moving the bishop. So, okay, this is a very difficult position, and in this pretty tough position, black made a bad move. So it is white to move. Of course, we have rook from a to b1, cutting the king off, and black played bishop takes on c3, and this was a bad move because pinning the bishop. So rook over, and then simply capturing the bishop, king to d4, checking the king, and capturing the knight and moving the king, and actually there is force checkmate, pushing the pawn, king takes on f4, check, and there is basically force checkmate in two moves, king to e5, and there is checkmate in one move. Schiffers played knight to f3, checkmate. So moving the same piece again and checkmating the king. What a beautiful checkmate in the middle of the chessboard. What a fantastic immortal chess game by Emmanuel Schiffers, one of the forgotten great chess players from the past. So I hope that you have enjoyed watching this chess game, and I hope to see you next time with more interactive chess games. Stay safe, take care, and bye bye.